sing this?
Everybody sees how different we have come to be. You know, they used to be like in a girl group when they were younger.
But I know they can sing, but I just never thought they sung it.
You got to do what's right for you. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Come on, Passions by Lisa. Wow, what a time.
Sister.
What a time, WB.
Yes, well, ABC first.
Yeah, they did. I think, but didn't everybody start off on like ABC for a season?
ABC was like getting rid of the shows.
Well, black shows.
Yeah.
Because I think Smart Guy started there as well. The Hughleys. I think the Hughleys might have did a season or two there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stayed launching black people and letting them go to UPM.
Yeah.
Or WB.
Right.
A time.
Right. So, that was Sister. The sitcom ran for 6 seasons from 94 to 1999. The first 2 seasons aired on ABC, and then W picked up the show in the 3rd season, and it ran from then on WB. And it was a show, you know, it put us on about the black market of adoption. It's a show about twins that were separated at birth who randomly find each other at 14 years old in the mall, and from there they decide to live together. And so Tia Mowry Hardrick plays Tia Landry. She is a smart and responsible inner city kid. She's being raised by her single mother, Lisa Landry, played by Jack A. Harris.
Come on, Fashions by Lisa.
Yeah, she starts off as a seamstress, but then later on she becomes the owner of Fashions by Lisa.
She had a carnival.
She did, and she protected it with her life too, child.
Didn't it set on fire?
Yeah,
an episode
or she like got blamed for something. And like,
shout out to Jack A. Harry, because if you go follow her on Instagram, her website actually sells Fashion by Lisa t-shirts.
Are you serious?
Deadass. So I've been wanting to buy one. I think I really am gonna buy Fashions by Lisa's t-shirt.
Oh, okay then, Jack A. I said Jack A. Harris. My bad, Jack A. Harry. Then you have to meet Tamera Mowry Housley, who plays Tamera Campbell. She's like a boy crazy.
I'm sorry. You know what I just realized? They still got the same initials. She's a Housley.
Oh, yeah.
They still have the H last name. That's nice. Okay.
And both had sons and then daughters.
Yeah, now they kids. Oh, that's sweet. Go ahead. Okay.
Tamera Campbell. She's boy crazy, less studious. She's a suburban kid being raised by a widower, Ray Campbell, played by Tim Reed, who's a limousine service owner. And he later becomes the local Republican Party politician candidate. I can't remember if he won that election or not. I don't think he won it. But
I don't even remember that, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah, this is when they were in their college years. This is like the last season. Marcus Houston plays Roger Evans from season 1 to season 5. He's their nerdy and annoying neighbor who crushes on both of them.
Not even nerdy, just corny and annoying.
Yeah. And then in season 6, they added Ronrico Lee, who plays Tyreek Scott, who's Tia's boyfriend. He works for Ray. He starts off working for Ray, and he's a high school dropout with a troubled past, but he ends up getting his GED and goes to the University of Michigan with the twins and Jordan, who is Tamera's boyfriend, played by Dion Richmond. Jordan Bennett. Basically, they met in high school. He's like the editor of the yearbook, and they basically keep each other on their toes because they're constantly arguing about something irrelevant. So, yeah.
You forgot about Alexis Fields, and I don't like that.
But Alexis, she was never like a main cast.
Alexis Fields deserves, because Dion was a part of that cast. She was down in the Freak Meek too. Yeah,
she was. I like to call her the late 90s, early 2000s sitcom fixer. Because they always brought her in when they were transitioning.
The second a cast transitioned from like middle school or like early high school to like that kind of grown high school era college. Yeah. Alexis Fields showed the hell up.
Yeah, but you know, also in the show they had Brittany Murphy, who was kind of a recurring cast member in the earlier seasons.
Taraji was on there actually twice.
Yeah.
She didn't have much lines, but she definitely was there twice.
There was Richard Lawson's daughter, Bianca Lawson.
Bianca Lawson used to play their nemesis. What was her name? I can't think of it, but and then that one year she came back.
She was...
Bianca Lawson used to be on Tamera head. Couldn't stand her.
Like, she took her boyfriend for no reason.
Did.
Just because. It was just
Did.
like, I want him.
And then they had, Rolanda used to play Ray's girlfriend.
And one of my favorite episodes is when they catch her cheating.
Oh, yeah. And Kid from Kid and Play was the manager of the coffee shop that Tia, I think, worked at.
Tia worked. But he was also, they had introduced him like an episode before.
As a DJ
was like
or something.
Rap artist or something.
Yeah, it was, yeah. He was
They
something.
had a house party. He was, yeah.
But what's your, Sister, shout out to that show anyway, because it was, in my opinion, I would say one of but in my mind, I can't name other shows. Sister is the only show that I think transitioned into college and the show actually got better than what it was before. Mm-hmm. Not too many shows could let people go off to school and keep the original family tied in, and it all makes sense. Yeah. And Sister was, I want to say the only, because I can't think of too many other shows where I was just like, when they went to adulthood, I was like, okay. Yeah. And then I would like shows like Beverly Hills 90210 and stuff, they were fine because they weren't family tied shows. And like Saved by the Bell wasn't a family tied show. To have like parents and then still keep the parents within the storyline and it all makes sense, like it's not weird, they did a good job with that.
Yeah. And also Sister, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I was just thinking about this, like Sister was one of the very few shows that like they didn't make Tia and Tamera's like virginity and stuff a big plot line. I feel like that was like, for those shows, it was always discussed back then. It was just kind of like,
now that I think about it, I just assumed that Tia and Tyreek at some point was just having sex. Yeah, of course. Like,
because he had his own.
Yeah, he just had so much time. He just had so much freedom.
Yeah.
And it'd be them nice ones too. But I just assumed anyway. In a weird way.
They like never had that discussion of,
like, I never thought about it.
Sex.
I never thought about them having sex, but I'm not shocked if they were having sex.
Yeah, and they did have their teachable moments.
No, they did. Oh, they definitely. Because they came in the teachable era.
The photographer one when the internet was starting to pop. And remember Tia, she had the computer, and there was like a guy who was like, "Oh, I'm a photographer. You should come over. I can make you a model."
Girl, is that Tia and Tamera's? You remember Smart Guy had that same storyline? I think he was he a photographer or trying to play a video game?
Smart Guy was video game.
He did try to. Was it Naya Rivera, the girl down in the basement with him? Because she was on that show a couple of times.
Girl, I can't think if it was her or was it Kyla Pratt.
I don't think it was Kyla Pratt.
Okay.
Because Kyla Pratt would have been way more feisty. Because they made
she was always the feisty.
Yeah, they Kyla Pratt had a specific role as a child.
Yeah, you right.
I think it might have been Naya. He was playing the game, and that man was about to rape them people, and then put it on his disc drive. Wow, what a terrible time.
No, but with Tamera, he was like, "Oh, I could make you a model," and she went over there by herself.
She would.
And then Tia had to go find her, but then Ray and Lisa came looking for him. So yeah,
one of the things I did like about Tia and Tamera too is the fact of how they grew up. Like, I just remember bushy hair and matching outfits. And in one season, I think it might have been third season, somebody hit them with a flat iron.
And they was tanned up. Like, they came back super tan.
And then it's just like their outfits didn't match no more. You was just like, wait, what happened?
But did they like tie that in the show? Like, look at our glow up. Yeah. That was when they made Bianca Lawson character come back.
Yeah, they really did. They really did hit a glow up on us and told us they hit a glow up.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you fine. Go.
No, I was gonna say one of my favorite episodes is in one of the earlier seasons when they're about to take yearbook pictures and they all go to the spa.
And Tamera Tamera, wait, Tamera gets her nails done, and she says Tamera, and realizes she has 4 fingers up. A! Exclamation point. It's like, wait.
And she gets her hair straightened. Tia still has like the curly hair, and that's when Tamera becomes a popular girl.
Yeah, and Tamera was swinging the hell out that hair too.
She was.
When Tamera song "I'm Going Down" too was a good one.
Girl.
But the only thing too I liked about even though they did try that Ray and Lisa shit for them to be together, I'm happy they ended the show with them not being together because they just didn't need to be.
But then it kind of made sense for them to explore that too, considering that they were living together, and it's like,
and they were parenting together.
Yeah. So, and Ray, first off, Lisa nor Ray really get the recognition they deserve when people be talking about television mothers and fathers. But
Lisa and Ray Campbell.
Yeah. Ray is one of my favorites though, because he reminds me of my dad, but he's more like sillier than my dad. Because like my dad, like the episode when the twins had appendicitis or something like that, and Ray was in the hospital singing to the older people. He was singing those, what's them?
The
like
jingles?
The jazzy, slow crooning and stuff to the older people. Mm-hmm. My dad would never do that. But as far as like being prude and young lady with the finger wagging stuff like that reminds me of my dad. So, and then Lisa had like a good balance between
don't play with me, but you can come to me.
Yeah.
Because I think Lisa, and granted, when y'all hear this episode, Sister is going to be on Netflix. So, and if you haven't, The Game and Moesha are still on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So, by the time you hear this episode, they'll have Sister on Netflix. The thing about Lisa was she had a very good balance of fear and relatability because she had lived such a colorful life. Mm-hmm. I kind of like parents that live the colorful life because they don't act so ridiculous. Well, most don't act so ridiculous. And Lisa was like that. Like, Ray was so proved that they couldn't go to Ray for nothing.
Yeah.
Lisa gave them a balance of like, okay, you still can come to me. But with that being said, if I have to snap your neck, I would.
But then also with Lisa knew the child that she had in Tia, and she knew Tia wouldn't go too far.
But I think with Tamera, it worked. Because Tamera needed a space. And I think Lisa was exactly what Tamera needed. And Tia and Ray needed each other. Because
you remember that episode when Ray wanted to take Tamera to the father-daughter dance, but Tamera was like, nah, that's whack. And so Tia was like, I'll go. And they became real close during their relationship. And Tamera was like, he's my dad.
See, like I said, like, it was just so odd how the other parent was perfect for the other child. Like, they need, that household they had needed the balance they gave. So, Sister was a really good show. And, I mean, I have no real complaints about it. It was just one of those shows that got better with time. I feel like Sister, Jamie Foxx, and Steve Harvey's show are three shows I think hit their stride halfway through. Not that their shows are bad first and second season, but it's something about like in the second season, third season. If anybody watched Jamie Foxx show, when they got them blue uniforms and that marble, they changed that carpet to that marble in that lobby. And everybody know with Steve Harvey, when they added Levita and Lori Beth Denver, or Lydia Eliza Gutman, it got better. And I think Sister was a show that actually got better with time. Like it went from kind of sometimes being cheesy earlier to actually just being a show that your parents could watch. Because at one point it was kind of like a kid's show a little bit. And in somewhere, I don't even know. I think it might be that third season when they straighten their hair. I don't know.
And the WB, it was dope for them to like see something in the show where it's like, we'll carry
We'll see it through.
Yeah. Because, I mean, without the WB, we wouldn't have got another one of my favorite episodes, which was the episode with Brian McKnight. He was so fine, that episode. Tia really dumped Tyreek, thinking that she was going to get...
Girl, she just needed to see life. She needed to see.
Just for her to end up back.
Did 702 end up on Sister too?
They were on the episode.
And I never the Freak Nick episode, which I tend to love. Oh wait, is that when Tamera and the boy broke up? Jordan broke up.
They were like having these issues. They used to just argue over stupid stuff.
Always had issues.
Yeah. And it
was so toxic.
It'd be like, oh well, Tamera, let me open the door for you. I can't open the door for myself.
She was.
It was just real. I don't know.
I miss the 90s like TV shows too, because they used to love like music and TV shows had this relationship where if you had a popular song or you were a group that wasn't so popular with their popular song, you ended up on these shows. And I miss eras like that. Like that is rock. Name them all. Like, all of them really just had this space where out of nowhere, like, where, what?
Family
Usher dead ass was on Moesha Porch.
That made me want to leave.
That made him
started a relationship.
Like, why was Usher on her patio singing that? Not, like, but not as Usher.
Even go with the,
but not even as Usher. Like, he was somebody. He was a dude playing Jeremy sung Usher to Moesha, but he was Usher.
And the song didn't even make sense in the context of what was going on in the show.
Yeah, because he was with no one.
He should have. Maybe he could have did. It's 7 o'clock.
No, he should not.
I'm in my drop top,
cruising the streets.
Dum, dum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But shout out to Sister.
Okay, because Sister was 8 o'clock. Was it Sister then Smart Guy? It was a lineup at one point.
WB had a nice lineup too.
It was 2 nights of black shows. I feel like it might have been Wednesday and Friday, but Friday might have had the Steve Harvey, For Your Love, and Jamie Foxx lineup. But then where was the Wayans?
The Wayans was at one point in time. That was Thursday before they canceled it. They had like a lineup on Thursday with the Wayans. They had that one show with the puppet with the hit the road.
I used to love that little show with the bunny. With the bunny, I used to fuck with that show.
I did.
Unhappily Ever After.
Yes.
And they had the one girl with the red hair who was kind of like Kelly Bundy. Oh shit! I used to love that shit.
And her and her brother actually dated in real life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. They had like an interesting lineup on the WB.
And then I think Wednesdays was that Dawson's Creek Felicity lineup. And let me tell you something. Dawson's Creek. For our lives to be over, I want to know right now, will it be?
I stopped watching Dawson's Creek like after a second season.
Girl, Dawson's Creek and that Felicity lineup. And I feel like WB had that Buffy and Angel lineup too.
No, UPN was, Buffy was on UPN.
Okay. Well, I'm about to say, because
I think that was Monday. Because I was in there.
I'm about to say, UPN might have been, WB might have been eating them up.
But I think Charm was on WB.
Then they had another. What went with Charmed? Because those Dawson Creek and Felicity went together. What went with Charmed? Because they used to do it 2 by 2. But anyways, either way.
But shout out to
WB.
Yeah,
that was a good times. The kids. I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Y'all don't know.
Y'all, it's gonna be some of y'all who listen to this show that just don't.
Y'all don't know.
Don't know how good it was back in the 90s, man.
It was very good.
Good times.
But, in us talking about Sister, I think we would be remiss to not also mention the reality show that Tia and Tamera had on Style Network.
What was the name of that?
Wasn't it Tia and Tamera?
Hold on. It might have been called Tia and Tamera. And Style was before they actually, I think they named it E. Wasn't it?
No, I think Style got bought by E or something.
Oh, yeah, it was called Tia and Tamera.
Yeah, Tia and Tamera.
Tia and Tamera had...
How many seasons did it last?
Girl, probably only
I feel like 2 or 3.
2.
And they cried on every episode. Every episode of them 2 seasons, they were crying.
So this is the premise of the I don't even know the premise. They were just out here just living their lives being Tia and Tamera. I think when the show first started, Tia either might have had just got married or maybe she had just got pregnant.
Tia was pregnant and Tamera was getting
engaged. Okay. So that was kind of the premise of that. I guess that was supposed to be the premise of the show. What happened was you realize sister had a lot of sister issues.
They were not their characters. And Tamera, remember when she cried on the show?
Because people thought she was adored.
They really thought that I was like the Tamera on the show.
The thing about the show, Tia and Tamera, was so funny to me is, even if you watch the real, Tamera is super sensitive.
She is.
Tia is just not.
Tia is a straight shooter.
And I think the one thing that helped them with that show was finding out how to kind of deal with each other. Because I feel like they were dealing with each other, but in a very terrible way.
What I got from the show is that they have their sisterhood And outside of that, they don't really involve each other.
But then they said their mom told them to do that because they were already twins.
No,
and they
Tia
Tia reinforced it. But the mom told them originally they needed separate lives. And I can understand that because one, they're twins. Two, y'all lived together. Because Tia and Tamera lived in like their parents' house until their early 20s. Only to move out into an apartment together. So
they were working together.
And they worked together and they had very... I'm about to say high octane, but their career, they had like very busy careers. Yeah. So they were never not with each other.
And they went to college together.
And they definitely went to Pepperdine together. Yeah. So their mom originally told them to have separate friends. So a lot of the drama started when that one friend was Tia's friend. And then she happened to pivot and become Tamera's friend too and thought they was going to hang out in a threesome.
And Tia politely shut that. Tia was like,
Tia stopped being her friends.
My mom said that me and Tamera needed to have separate friends. You became Tamera's friend.
So now you can be her friend.
Stay over there.
And not even a mean way. You can just be her friend. And that pretty much is how it trickled down on the shows.
But then also, like, when you look at Tia's friends compared to Tamera's friends, it was just kind of like, okay.
But then I think Tia but I think Tia probably made the friends for Tamera because something about Tamera being so emotional makes me feel like she coddled, like she needed Tia to coddle her. And I feel like Tia might have like, not brought her along in a bad way, like, oh, my sister come in. But I think Tia being Tia,
more outgoing,
made it where people came around. And then I think it took Tamera longer to find herself I think it took Tamera long to find her individuality outside of Tia versus Tia, who was just like, all right, so I'm Tia.
I'm in these streets.
I'm Tia, and I am a twin.
Right.
And this is cute.
But that doesn't define me.
Yeah, and I think Tamera was like, but we're twins. Why doesn't it define us?
Why can't we? And Tia's like, no. I mean, I got my man Corey.
And Tia had known for a long time. And then even when they tell the stories about like Tamera partying, because come to find out, Tamera was the one who was out in these streets for real.
Right.
And then it's like Tamera finally said she wasn't happy. She was looking for something. So I think it took Tamera long to find like who she was and what she, and maybe she was confused too because she wanted to be white and Republican. I don't know. But no shade. I really do. No shade. But I really do love Tamera. I think Tamera is a sweet spirit. But they're fun. Like that show was funny because
it was hilarious from when Tamera was planning her wedding and Tamera was like, so I'm gonna have two matrons of honor, and Tia was like, no, you won't. I'm your only matron of honor.
Make it make sense.
I'm your sister. And Tamera was like, but she's married too. Okay, but I'm your sister. You know what? I could just sit out. I could be a guest.
Tia is hilarious because Tia don't play. But then Tamera's so sensitive. It's like she'll cry about it for a week, and Tia be looking like, so what's your problem?
But I didn't know if that was like Tia, if it was her pregnancy hormones, because it wasn't like Tia was like, so I'm not going to your bachorette party. I'm going to do a baby moon. It
might have been Tia's hormones.
Tia was like, Tia kept her foot on that girl's neck.
Tia used to beat Tamera. Like, y'all can't convince me that Tia wasn't beating Tamera's ass in the earlier days.
No, you're not going to have a matron of honor. I'm your sister. I'm your only matron of honor.
And Tamera is so, it's not funny that Tia was so to the point, but it's only funny because it was just like, Tia, chill.
No, when Tia was like, you sound like a valley girl, and Tamera cried that whole episode because Tia said she sound like a valley girl, and their poor cousin Jerome, I know they probably was like, they used to take Jerome crazy.
They used to put Jerome through. Jerome, and you can see why her brothers, Tavia and Taj, never showed up because they was over that shit in their house. It was just like, listen, them hoes always arguing. I don't have time.
Or when Tamera told Tia that she wasn't leaving her children to Tia if she passed away, and Tia was like, but we're twins, we're sisters.
We're the same age. I'm leaving them to mom.
She was like, but mom is old. She was
like, I get Tia on that one because it's just like,
Tamera said, I do not like the way you parent your children.
And the thing was because I feel like, because Corey's from Chicago. Tia's husband is from Chicago. Tia's husband just gives me a vibe that
he's a very no-nonsense attitude.
Yeah, he just seemed like not even no nonsense, because actually
They don't beat their kids.
They don't beat their kids. And she said, which honestly, I think that shit's overrated anyway. I agree with that. And she said she named her kids Cree and Cairo because they're intersexual. Is that the word? Mm-hmm. Meaning they can go for boy or girl, because she kind of like, I'm letting my kids grow the way they need to grow. I'm here to put them in the world being healthy and great. I'm not. Tia do seem like a person who goes by very old school values, and Tamera, like she goes from that military lifestyle.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yeah, like that. And their parents are both in the military. She definitely seems like that type.
She and her husband are conservative too.
Very. So. And Tia's just out this bitch. Like, I mean, and I'm telling y'all what's gonna happen. It's gonna be them goddamn Tamera kids that in about that high school age.
But because all kids, and so the thing is, we know that Tia's kids are black. Like, yes, she's biracial, but her husband is black. Tamera, her kids, I feel like they're gonna have like a little nigga phase where they're gonna be like nigga, and I can say that because my grandmother is black and da da da. But
my mom's black.
Yeah, but
they're gonna eventually they can move around in the world as not black people.
Yeah,
they're gonna move around the world as people of color, because if you look at them, Aiden looks white.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen a recent picture.
Yeah, Aiden, between Aiden's the texture of his hair and the whole nine. Mm. Aria, they're gonna ask her what is she.
Because she does look ethnic.
So they can do she almost compares. There's a lot of ethnicities that can go under her umbrella. No shade. So yeah, they're gonna move around in the world in a very different way, which I'm gonna find very interesting, because Tavia married a black girl, and I hate to say it like that, but
she all natural.
She's brown skin. Yeah. She's a black girl. So
he having black kids.
Yeah, he's having black kids. Yeah, he gonna have more. He gonna have. I don't want to say blacker kids than Tia, but he's having.
Yeah, he having some black kids.
Yeah, he has some black kids. That's gonna be not disputable.
Yeah, Taj, we don't really know about.
No, I don't know what Taj is doing. He's a smart guy.
He makes surprises.
You know what? And if he does, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So I could see that, because Tamera's kids are going to definitely live a different life than Tia's kids, and not money wise, and I don't want to say culture wise.
I feel like just having a different world view or whatever. Because also I feel like with Tamera, she probably shelters her kids and stuff, versus Tia is probably like, so look, you're black. Yeah. And this is
then so you have to remember, they go to Napa Valley with Adam's family. They have a winery. So it's just a different life. And not that Tia's kids have been there, but their daddy roots is in Chicago. Yeah. And Tia really loves being black.
Yeah, she loves being black.
Like, not biracial, black.
I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all.
And I'm blackity black. The black, y'all. But that show, like, and the one thing I do enjoy about Tia and Tamera, honestly, is, so I guess he was buying Style Network. So Style Network was coming to an end, and Tia and Tamera had to make a decision either to take the show, to continue the show on E, or to end it, and they chose to end it because they just said that
to save their sisterhood.
They want this. Yeah, they said the show just kind of made it. They had issues, but the show wasn't helping their issues. So the fact that they knew at that moment it was time for them to kind of separate, I really enjoyed that, because there's a lot of family family reality shows that don't realize that they need to sit the fuck down. Yeah. And they were one who, because it wasn't that their ratings were bad. Everybody watched that show, but
you can also tell it wasn't scripted. They just really just had.
And don't get me wrong, they really had really good times on that show. Yeah, that show, watching that show made me want to twin, because it was just stuff they did with each other that you probably would never do with like a regular sister. Like, they ate each other placentas, and they had a book. I can't think of the name of it, but they had like a New York Times bestseller children's book. They did a lot of stuff on that show, and you could tell they genuinely loved each other. But I like the fact that you got to see them being individuals. Yeah, and you have to remember, they worked together, they lived together. They lived together again when they went off to college.
But I think it also started when Tia got the role in the game.
Well, she said that because Tamera auditioned.
Yeah.
And then she said that Tia became more popular than her. Like at first it was Tia and Tamera, then it was just like Tia and nobody forgot.
Yeah. Even though Tamera had the show on Lifetime.
She did say that she was a doctor, right? Yeah, she had that show on Lifetime.
Everybody watched the game.
But then the thing is, I was just looking at their followers on Instagram, and they're even again. And I think The Real brought Tamera back.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Tamera had less followers than you?
Did for a while. And then it went, when The Real first started, Tamera shot up over Tia. And now they're like back to being balanced. Which I know they probably don't care, but I think too, Tamera said she couldn't find work. Tamera couldn't find work, and Tamera wanted to be married, and Adam was bullshitting apparently from the story she told on The Real. So Tia had the husband, Tia had the baby. Because if you watch the game, I think the first 2 seasons is just say Tia Mowry. That third season is when she got married, and it says Tia Mowry Hardract. So Tamera had got Tia had got the career and the husband, and Tamera really wanted the husband, actually.
I do wonder how that is for a twin when you see like your twin is like experiencing all this in life, and especially because once they start getting married and stuff and get so used to that relationship,
I think that was a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's probably where I think that's where we caught them at on the reality show, because then Tamera had just got engaged, but I think it was the unpacking of you got the game. The game was hella popular. People like damn near rioted for that damn show, and the game was like super successful for Tia, and then she was married, and then she was going through that.
And then also another
and Tia kind of ruled because Tia probably was like, "I'm married now." Tia,
I can't do this to me.
I'm a married woman, Tamera.
But then also the thing was that Tia was always seen as like the prettier twin back in the day too.
Which is odd because how quickly has that shifted? Because I think now if we vote Tamera, really,
because Tamera has a more youthful look now than Tia.
Okay. But then I think too. But you know what? I think Tia don't care because Tia show her gray hairs and don't be caring. So I think that might have a lot to do with it because Tamera be beat to the gods. And I actually really do love Tamera's style, but I'm a very whimsical. Chrissy says Coachella. I'm very much so. I like that look. So Tamera eats at my soul for her style. I think also with Tia was that we saw her journey of having a baby and stuff, and just her weight loss journey, and how she was just like, I'm not about to rush into this. I'm just gonna let it happen as it may. With me losing the weight. So. But it's just shout out to Tia and Tamera. Tia just got a 3-movie deal with Lifetime.
Yep, I saw that.
I was in her messages, her comment section saying we need a sister Christmas. That's just me though. With Lisa and Ray. Might as well, because them Christmas movies on Lifetime love to bring back old couples. To Jasmine got Dwayne Wayne and Whitley Gilbert was in the one with Kyla Pratt. Tempest Bledsoe, wasn't she? Tempest. Rudy, was it a third one from the Cosby Show? Both of them was in a Christmas movie 2 years ago. And Ray and Lisa was in Tia's Christmas movie 2 years ago. They love to give a little mix and match, and I be with it. Yeah. So, but shout out to Tia and Tamera, sister. Watch the game. Yeah, watch the game. And they had an awesome reality TV show. And if you can go back and watch Get Your Life, the episodes, like that show used to have me dying. That was a good, and it's not scripted at all. They really, that is being Bobby Brown reality TV. They hit record. They didn't sit down at the table and say what should happen. They sent them to a restaurant and let that shit unfold. It would be something just so basic like, Tamera, why do you walk like that? What do you mean, Tia? It was so, oh my God. But at the end of they really do adore each other. Yeah, but that shit used to be funny. They needed to find balance in their new space, and it showed. Yeah. As wives and mothers and adults, they needed to figure out, and we watched. Yeah. Thank you, Tia and Tamera. Girl, so a couple of weeks ago I was at a funeral.
You went to a funeral? Your virtual funeral.
No, nigga. Pastor Bishop died.
Oh, girl, don't be. Look. Yeah, they killed off the bishop.
They didn't even time out. Let me tell y'all something about this funeral the Greenleafs had. I tried to make an excuse for these niggas. I was like, they did tape it. They said he died in May. We was deep in quarantine. Mm-hmm. So maybe they had that funeral because of quarantine. But then my brother had a good point. He was like, well, the church was filled with no mask.
Yeah. I was just very unsatisfied.
I want to hear Going Up Yonder.
Yeah, I was unsatisfied with the last season anyway, because it was like they only got 8 episodes.
And let's be clear. The episode titles were day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, continue. So y'all telling me all that happened in 8 days?
Yeah, it was like a whole bunch of storylines that I just felt like they did not properly wrap up. Like it was like even with the AJ storyline and how season 4
he should have been dead
had ended with the other guy that looked like AJ coming up to Grace. But then it's like they just wrote it that he was killed. And it was like, so then what was the point of even introducing him? What was the purpose of that?
The better storyline to that was that guy and AJ both dying in that fire. Neither here nor there.
Or maybe that being the real AJ. And yeah, we found out
I didn't want to know AJ. Both of them died.
Yeah, it was like the way they did that storyline. I didn't like the way they did the storyline with Grace's daughter and how she had the pictures out. And we didn't even see like a resolve for that.
I thought, She
just told Grace at the end. Like
and Grace didn't know.
Yeah, but we didn't like really see, because Grace don't play about her family. Like Grace would have been taking that shit to trial. We would have been Grace would have took that shit to trial.
Grace don't play about her family. We would have been at court. We would have been at court for a whole season. A whole season would have been in court.
That basketball player, he wouldn't have been in the NBA no more. That girlfriend would have been homeless.
Me too.
Right, shit. Look.
Black Lives Matter. He should have found everybody.
Right. Girl. And then they had, so Jacob at first was eyeing Tasha and was like, well, Tasha, just wait till my divorce is finalized. Just for him to be looking at her sister-in-law on the last episode.
Honestly, I like that sister-in-law. She gave him their house back. She's going to end up in that house because of the goodness of Jesus.
But the thing
she about to end up with Jacob.
Jacob don't want vanilla. Jacob likes the look of vanilla, but Jacob don't want vanilla.
But he don't want Tasha either. Tasha, I ain't seen it for Tasha since she was messing
with
T.I.
What's your Tasha hair?
Well,
look at you. With your looking like Tasha.
I can't help that the hair cute. But Tasha, you mess with T.I., you mess with Jacob, I don't have time. Next.
And then the way the whole storyline with the church, how they wrapped that up.
Well, they wrapped that up too easily. Yeah. With the white people.
Yeah.
Because it's money, it's money, it's property, it's contracts, it's politics. It's a lot of stuff involved for you to come down to the church and basically say, this is my church again, and them to pack up their shit and go. That's not how that works. And then plus they didn't get old girl out who I don't like, who stay with the bullshit. Connie, when I seen them white people leave and then they cute to Connie, I was like, why isn't Connie getting up? Like that didn't make sense. Because I think Lady Mae should have stopped whatever. I know they were singing.
Connie.
I know the family was having a moment, but Lady Mae should.
Because Charity had to go up there and start singing.
Yeah, she would. Listen, I'm sorry. BB and CC.
Reach out.
I'm so happy BB and CC, when I say. I'm so tired.
They didn't bring back Kevin, her husband. Like, I would have liked to have seen him.
We've seen Kevin's boyfriend way more than we've seen Kevin. And like Kevin wasn't like a part of that show for real the first 2 seasons.
They didn't grow the little
With the baby up, I thought he was gonna be 5 by now.
Yeah, they didn't grow the kids up. The baby was still a baby. I mean, we know she wasn't really taking care of that baby.
No, she really was not taking care of that baby.
We didn't see the baby.
I didn't even like her leaving old boy. Who was it? The one.
What's his name? I know who you're talking about.
But I didn't like even her. I love me for me. That was like dramatic shit.
Cause we know you still want that nigga.
Yeah, just be with that nigga.
You went the whole.
You did that. You did all this just to say I love myself for myself. Girl, stop having a Wayne text when we go get that nigga back.
Cause you gonna be talking to that nigga.
Yeah, please. Charity, you a weak bitch.
Demars, is that his name?
Yeah, Demars, you a weak bitch. Go back with that nigga. Can't stand on her for that. I'm better off without you. Girl, sit your weak ass down and go get your nigga. Ugh. And then on top of all that, y'all killed the bishop. I can't.
Yeah, and then gave him that sorry funeral.
No, not even that sorry funeral. The fact that I've been told Lady May to call the police and she asking a nigga who can't talk, should she call the police? That pissed me off. But then to get the book and be like, I do, and she's like, I do too. No, bitch, you could have did that. Like, don't all of a sudden want to be in love. I can't stand you hoes who love niggas. Like, no, for real. If he all, when shit going left, he was my rock. No, he wasn't, sis. He been trying to marry you. Did he? Like, I can't stand y'all when y'all.
Man, did he? When is Kim's birthday? Because you know he about to have a whole.
Honestly, I feel pity for, especially them girls, because it's something about them being not even teenagers. They were like preteens when she died. That is the saddest thing. We do need to go on record and discuss the fact that Diddy was with Cassie for 10 years.
Yeah.
While Kim was alive.
And after that, started messing with some other girl while Kim was alive.
So I tend to step over all the fireworks. Yeah. That's just me though.
I let Diddy have it when she first passed away.
I'll let Diddy have it on her death anniversary as well.
Yeah, I'll let him have it. But
and her birthday. I'll give him twice.
Yeah, but now all this whole randomly posted, I should.
The love of my life, black love is what it is. It's like, but you, Cassie, 10 years.
Yeah.
Outwardly too, not like a secret. Outwardly.
Yeah.
But not my business. So, Lady May, I feel the same goddamn way. All of a sudden, you want to be like my husband. I love him. No, sis. Oh, boy tried to marry you. Well, AJ messed up the first one. That's why I still don't like that nigga now. But
oh, yeah, he did.
He did try to commit suicide and didn't do it. And so now they couldn't get married. I am mad about that. Yes.
Yeah.
But
AJ, he gave his life to Christ at the end.
I don't give a fuck about him.
That was really touching.
That didn't touch me like hell. He needs to go where his daddy at. Like, why is he still bothering my family?
He gave his life to Christ. And I am happy that Grace chose Rick Fox.
Okay. Listen, Grace, that's the only time I saw it for you, child. Good choice. Tasha Mack let him go. And now you got him.
Yep. You look so dumb right
now. What did Tasha Mack say? Take a bow. Saying you apologize. You're so ugly when you cry. Please,
just cut it.
Irv was like, that's my shit.
Don't tell me you sorry.
Tasha Mack song Take a Bow in that goddamn office for no reason. For no legit reason. And I died. Tasha Mack doing that song and sucking Rick Fox's toe. It's top tier. Tasha Mack, listen, overall the game is a great show.
Tasha had to keep that nigga.
Tasha, top tier, was holding that show on her back because Tasha was funny. But yeah, so Greenleaf.
Yeah.
I wasn't that excited. What I do think though, y'all have the spinoff. I think the spinoff is going to be about Lady May being the bishop. I think they're going to keep Charity. I think they're going to keep Jacob. And I think they're going to keep his kind of new love interest, the one girl who let them keep the house. I think she's going to be a part of it. I get the vibes that Grace won't be there. And hopefully they leave Zora and old girl away too.
Grace, I think she's going, I think I read that she's going to another show on HBO. So that was kind of why they wrapped it up. Anyway.
Okay, so I wouldn't mind.
I feel like they could have kept Greenleaf going and just wrote her off. Like, just gave her a send-off. But then I guess Greenleaf really started off about Grace. But there are a lot of shows that start off about one character. And then, yeah.
But I think with the bishop there, it might have been still that kind of tug of war between the bishop and Lady May. So now we get to see Lady May being essentially the bishop. And then I think we're going to get to see her date and stuff. So like it gives it a whole new life because we don't know the Greenleafs without the Greenleaf, which is bishop. So, I mean, I'm not like, I hate the fact that he died, but if they're going to do a spinoff, to me, having a Lady May centered show is not a bad idea. She was pretty much
They didn't even bring Mavis back.
Mavis is in like Greece or something.
Like they didn't tie up nothing.
Girl, you know what? So I forgot that Mavis left the club. So while Zora and them was trying to figure out their lives, Zora and them should have just opened up Mavis Club again.
Yeah, but then they had the storyline where they were trying to start the church
in the club. It was stupid. And when I really thought about it, when I realized that Mavis gave Grace a club, I was like, why didn't y'all just get a club to the kids and like not necessarily give it to them like that? But why didn't y'all let them open the club up? Yeah. And then get the people around them to help, because that would have been ideal for a family to keep shit going.
Yeah, they just, I don't know. This last season, Greenleaf was too good of a show for them to wrap it up the way
it deserved more.
Yeah.
Well, y'all got 30 minutes. Okay, P-Valley.
Down in the valley where
the girls get naked. If you got bands and you know they gon' shake it. 1, 2, check.
3, 4, these niggas grind hard, but these bitches grind harder.
Okay, so if the last
I'm so glad that you're watching P-Valley.
I am happy too.
It's so much better when we could talk about the show.
Girl, because Uncle Cliff is everything. I love him. Yeah. Okay, so Chrissy on the last show said I should watch P-Valley. That following Sunday, I watched it hooked. I watched all the episodes. I put my brother on it. Me and him was on FaceTime. He was saying the theme song. I was dropping it on the FaceTime. And I'm like, oh my God, this is such hood rat shit. I love it. Okay, so thoughts. Mercedes and Mississippi are my favorite. Mm-hmm. I do like Little Murder and Uncle Clifford's love story. I think it's super cute. Yes, oh my God, who else is on there? I don't like the one you said that going to be the main star. That's the main star, but you don't care about her story. I understand that. Autumn was kind of Autumn wasn't fun until she linked up with Mercedes.
Yeah, now
she had and I know she went through she had a hella bad ass attitude for no real reason. It was just like, why you so mad?
Yeah,
and I do want Mississippi to get with that Drake ass nigga. Diamond.
Oh, Diamond, yeah. So if y'all caught up on the show, Pinks, they're basically about to lose the club because they
want to do a casino. And when people want to buy your shit, they make sure your stuff get closed down.
Yeah. And so they're trying to save Pinks right now. Mercedes, she was supposed to be having her last dance, but her mama is a trifling bitch who stole her money and how you gonna open a church and you don't even got a congregation? How you gonna keep the church going?
I hate the fact that she let her mother manipulate her like that every time, because her mama was trash. Yeah. It'll be different if her mama only took her money. It'll be different if her mama really tried to distance herself from Mercedes' life.
Yeah, but I can respect that more.
She had one foot in Mercedes' life and kind of envied Mercedes' life. And then ask Mercedes for money. And then ask Mercedes for money while making her feel bad about her life.
Yeah. But taking her money.
Nah, fuck her mom. Her mama's trash.
Yeah. Autumn, now we've gotten more of her. I'm not going to say we got more of her backstory. She's just more likable. She's become likable because when Mercedes went to jail for going upside her mama's head for stealing her $20,000.
Should have.
Autumn or Haley was the only one that had the money to get Mercedes out and brought her in to be like, all right, whatever they doing, going to different banks and getting money.
So essentially, and I figured this out because maybe I'm secretly a con artist. Autumn's husband, I don't see, this is where it gets tricky. I don't know if the money's illegal or legal, but he had a bunch of money.
Yeah.
What Autumn was doing, because Autumn knew all the information, she was sending money from his account to basically essentially a Western Union and picking the money up. So she's stealing from him, and I'm assuming it's stealing. I don't know if their name is joint on the account. I don't know what she's doing on that side, but it looks like she's stealing from his account and giving it to all these fake identities. The issue is he's not dead.
Yeah.
So he's watching.
She shot him.
Yeah.
He didn't die.
And see, I thought he drowned. So she shot him. He didn't die. Which, damn, girl. But so she's basically had been sending his money to her.
And he tracked her down.
Now, see, here's where it's gonna get interesting. If his money's illegal, he can't report her because his money's illegal. If he's it don't look like he a working ass nigga. It don't look like no lawyer, no doctor, nothing. But if the money's legal, of course he can send her to jail. It feels to me like this money's illegal. So it sounds like Autumn to me need to just go ahead and hit on that nigga and just go to another city or state or whatever.
But it's like Autumn, she trying to put the rest of them on game, because even when she was telling Mercedes, put this in the offshore account. Don't just buy your gym by yourself. Get investors. she told the other, Mississippi, who's in. Like, were you kind of shocked by Mississippi's baby daddy, the one that's the
I thought she was getting beat by like a black drug dealer. I didn't realize she was being beat by some white boys, pissing me off actually.
And he looks like very.
And then the thing is, he knows it because it was the conversation he had at the club when he was like, "You can't." She likes money, and it's just like, well, if she likes money, why is she just stripping the strip?
Yeah,
because it kind of sounds like. But then he bought his drink on her tab.
Yeah, but then it's like, what does he do? Because remember, he brought the baby to her because he was like, I gotta go to work, so, and that was at night, so it don't seem like he has like
I thought the way he was talking is if she had as if he had the money to take care of her. But it's like, then why is she stripping? Yeah. And why y'all can't get no sitter?
Yeah. And then I think she has another child who her mom has or something.
Girl, and the fact that she just won't get with Drake is pissing me off.
Yeah. And then, so what she think about Andre?
Which one's Andre?
The lawyer.
Andre fucking his girlfriend the way he did, I was with it. Wife?
Yeah.
Own it. Because one way to shut you up is that. But anyways.
Andre, when I think of like my future husband, that's like my biggest fear, to think that I have a nigga that's on the up and up, and he really not. But it's like, I genuinely think that Andre is a good dude.
But I think Andre is on the up and up, but got caught in a business where he couldn't be, and that happens to people sometimes. It's like, I want to do this for.
I'm talking about Autumn.
That's
what I'm talking about. Yeah,
that's business wise.
I don't care about business wise. I'm talking about Autumn, where it's like, I'm thinking like, okay, he going to handle his business. He cool. And
not in Autumn's or his defense, he didn't realize that shit hit him like a ton of bricks. Because if he was gonna cheat, it would not have been with a girl like Autumn. He's just genuinely smitten. I don't think he's a cheater. I genuinely do not think Andre's a cheater. I think Autumn happens to be the exception.
But I think also that's kind of like, you begin these marriages where people are like, because it makes sense. He's a lawyer, she's a doctor, and it's like the image. But then it's like, could you not be a doctor but still? You can be a doctor but still not be vanilla. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you ain't calling him up and having phone sex with him?
But maybe their relationship was vanilla prior, and he changed to chocolate.
Like,
that happens.
I don't ever want to just be.
No, sometimes your relationship is vanilla, and that's okay. And then someday some nigga happens to get cookie dough and be like, "Oh, cookie dough."
I don't want to be vanilla.
You don't have to be.
I want to be whatever flavor.
Well, then choose a flavor, sis.
That's what I like. That whole. Ooh.
I think because like people was trying to read him, but I was just like, some cheating situations aren't because dudes are cheaters. Some situations some situations are just situations, and I think, should his wife be done with him? Yeah, because now he can't go back to vanilla. To me, right now, it's probably nothing she can do to actually get him back on their tracks. However, I think when all this started,
he was like, don't run from it.
He had me.
I was like, oh.
He honestly, Andre had me.
But it looks like she was shocked herself. Like that.
But you know what? I always said, and I said this prior, I think it might have been, don't judge me, y'all, was that Tyler Perry movie with him and Gabrielle Union, No Good Deed. And they had sex, and I remember Gabrielle at the end of it, she looked at him and was like, you had sex with me like you was having sex with somebody else. I don't know why it stuck in my...
I have never fully seen that movie.
That was ingrained in my damn head. And I was just like, that is true. You be knowing when it be different.
Yeah, because...
But you be trying to figure out why it's different. You be like, oh, maybe.
So if you were in Andre's wife's situation, because first off, she had already called him, and
I would have said who you fucking.
Yeah, because she had already called him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm at my room," and she's like, "No, I'm here.
I'm at the bar. I'll come back." And let's be clear.
I would have been like, "You at the bar listening to who? Who would have thought I'd get you? What bar you at?"
No, not even that. I'm at the bar, and the bar is literally an elevator ride away. You crazy as hell if you tell me you at the bar and I'm coming, and I don't go down there before you get there.
Right.
I'm down to the bar, sis. I'm down.
So what bar are you at?
I'm at the bar. Oh, I'm looking at it. I don't see you.
And why are y'all listening to Daniel Caesar?
And they be like, no. Oh, no. The bar across the street. Ain't nothing across the street but a gas station. Why is it? It's shells.
Right.
I'm a little different.
And then, like, he just... Like, and then after it was over, she was like, you missed me, huh? And he was just like, oh, I'm about to go and get in the shower.
Yeah, she should have known in.
Right. Like,
that was real. He could have lied. He could have played off like, come get a shower with me.
Yeah, he didn't
he didn't even play it off.
Like, yeah, baby, I miss you.
He was just trying to get the angst off him. He was just like,
You think he saw Autumn when he was with her? He was
definitely did.
Autumn, yeah.
Definitely did. But that's what I said, like, honestly, you know, if you being vanilla, I'm not with y'all vanilla lives, that's fine. That's cool. I'm with it. But I think he got a taste of Rocky Road. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't.
And all it took was a phone sex call.
And I don't even think it wasn't his intention. And I think sometimes cheating gets a bad rap. Not that I'm like trying to generalize.
Cheating gets a bad rap.
I'm not trying to generalize cheaters, but some stuff is just not about basic hoe niggas. You know what I mean? Like in a weird way, some stuff isn't about just hoe niggas. Or hoe women. It's just life happens, and I think he lived this life, and it was fun, and it was great, and it was perfect, and he loved it. Then he took his ass,
cookie cutter.
Yeah, and he wasn't complaining, and he didn't care. And then he just happened to end up in this situation. It's just like, wait, what?
I think it's everything too, even with the business.
The business. Being in Mississippi, he was smitten by Autumn from jump. He thought she was a very beautiful girl. It's just in normal life, he would not have been able to approach a girl like Autumn. It like the business he was doing, the life that was happening, gave him a weird opportunity, and it all came ahead. And if I was his wife and he would have busted me down like that, and we never bust down like that before, we would have had a problem.
And all it took to say, you mean to tell me y'all been FaceTiming this whole time? You ain't decided to just take it off and
all it took was a good shut up. And the whole scene went left. And I was like, sis, you need to check on your nigga. That was really good for you. With that being really good for you, check on your husband, sis. Cause party done.
Down in the Delta.
Party done.
Get naked.
Party done, sis.
Or wait, down the valley or
down in the valley? Down the valley.
Where the girls get naked.
Sis. And then just it was that you missed me, huh? I'm about to take a shower. Should have been a moment. Yeah. That would have been a moment for me. What? Because Andre wouldn't even like come in I'm gonna like he was disgusted that it was her. Like I finished. I thought you were Autumn. You're not.
Girl, what they probably gonna do is like he probably gonna get her pregnant or something, and then it's gonna be like I can't leave my wife.
Girl, niggas can never.
Yeah, and then I find Lil Murder's storyline interesting. The fact that it seems like the people around him know that he's gay or that bisexual, or overall they know he likes men, but their main thing is just like, look,
get to the money.
Yeah, you can't mess this up for us. You can do what you do, love who you love, but you know.
I find that interesting, and I actually like Lil Murda and Uncle Clifford's love story. Like I think it's sweet, especially because when he did when Uncle Clifford did the monologue about not being able to be seen, and you know, basically we gonna die.
But that's another thing, because I'm trying to figure out, is Lil Murda, is he on the DL or is he gay? Like,
I think I feel like he's on the DL.
But he was like, I don't care, like, where you want to go. I'm going to take you wherever you want to go.
But I still think he says that. And like
that's another thing. I'm like, do you think he's saying it?
I do. I think he's saying it because he knows it can't happen. Like, I feel like he's just playing a role of, I'm about, okay, yeah, let's go. Knowing damn well, because Uncle Clifford's being so resistant.
Yeah.
And some people do that. When they know you're like adamant, they be like, oh, let me act like I'm trying.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of is what it is. I do think his friends know, but even when they talk to him, he still seems shocked that they know. Like, what you mean? Mm-hmm. So I think his friends know. I think they've had conversations. I don't think they ever really had a conversation with him about it.
Okay.
And so I think that's where that is. Because if he was just gay, just be gay, I think it's still very much so a secret.
Yeah.
And I think people can only be caught up with Uncle Clifford because of the pink and because of what Uncle Clifford does. Mm-hmm. But if it wasn't for the pink and everything that was going around, I don't.
Yeah.
Which I like it. I like the show. I know a couple people say they didn't like it, which immediately, I was just like, how do y'all not like this type of mess?
I appreciate the show because it's an equal opportunity. You see the strippers in their glory, and then you see the men who will turn around and you're like, oh.
What you think about the family? Real quick, because y'all, we got to take this all under Verzuz. What do you think about the family, the white boys? But the one white boy that's not the white boy. What's his name?
I know his name is like Corey or something. Or?
Yeah, he's like the illegitimate child. It's so terrible that he looked white, but he don't look white. It's so weird.
Yeah, and that everybody knows that he's an heir to them, but he
don't get the respect in the white community. Oh my God, it's so terrible.
And the brothers openly don't respect him.
Can't stand his ass.
Yeah.
And especially when I seen his house was in the hood.
Yeah, it was.
It's like, so you go out there and you go do that cotton and.
Yeah, and he does do that cotton.
He do that cotton. I mean, he do it on the machine, but he do that cotton. Uncle Clifford came out there with the umbrella, and it was just like, why are you doing that cotton? He was like, he keeps the fields, but then I guess his family probably initially, his mom and them and probably.
But then even with because I know he was trying to work out a side deal on his own, but then they basically made him sign the contract.
But honestly, he had the smartest idea to lease the land out. Leasing the land out is going to last forever. Yeah. If they build a casino there, it's going to literally, you're going to get money until the day is dawn. Selling that shit was stupid. That's just quick money.
But the thing is, they don't want him to be right. That wasn't their thought.
They stupid.
So, yeah.
He had the smartest idea.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to the next episode because it seems like Mercedes kind of put two and two together with Haley's dude. Because she kind of sensed that something wasn't right about him, and it looks like she pulled a switchblade or something in the next episode.
I know I like Mercedes.
Because I'm like, if they wanted to kill him, they could do it at Pink's and get rid of the body that way. But the police officer also ID'd Autumn too.
Yeah, he did clock him.
Yeah. So, and the dude that's messing with Mercedes, he
definitely clocked him. Yeah,
so,
he did. He was walking past. Yep.
Yeah, as he was getting his ankle bracelet. So, but just looking forward to the next episode. The next week is the season finale, and we already said they got season 2.
All right. Lovecraft Country.
Letitia fucking Lewis.
Okay. I only watched one episode, y'all. So here's the thing. I don't like period pieces, and I especially don't like period pieces during Jim Crow and before. And I'm not into sci-fi. All that Charmed, all that Harry Potter shit, all that devil, the vampire. What was the one everybody used to like on HBO?
True Blood.
True Blood.
I love it.
So I was hella shocked that I watched that first episode, and I liked it.
The second episode, they are like dealing with warlocks or whatnot. See, I watch True Blood. I watch what's the show on Netflix, Stranger Things. Like, I like that type of stuff, and especially because Black people are always complaining. We always get the same stories. Y'all did that about Nia Long movie that just came out on Netflix. It's always the same story. So now we got Black people in a genre that you don't normally see Black people in, and I love it. I mean, and it is a horror because you're living in Jim Crow.
That was scary enough.
Yeah, and you have to deal with monsters.
Every time I seen white people show up, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
These niggas about to get it.
Yeah. And so it's like the first episode, they were dealing with like sundown towns and things like that. The second episode gave me like a Get Out type of feel because it's kind of like, so what I get from the show. And also, if you're not really understanding the show, because when I'm watching the show, sometimes I don't fully understand what's going on. It also has a podcast. And I think the writer of the show is a part of it, but they talk about the episodes, and so it makes it more. It clarifies some things for me. I haven't listened to the podcast about last night's episode, but the second episode is that Tick, his bloodline, he comes from a very powerful bloodline, and the second episode is that you have like these white people. And I guess they're kind of like the Freemasons or whatever. They're warlocks. But basically, they wanted Tick. Like, they wanted his, I don't know if I want to say powers or what. But whatever it was that they wanted from him, it would have gave them more power. Because, and president from what's that show with Kerry Washington?
President Fitzgerald Grant.
Fitzgerald, yeah, he was on the second episode. Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, and so, that second episode gave me like a very Get Out type of vibe, because it's like they want you, but they don't want you. They like want what you could do for them, and Tick was, his bloodline could like open up doors to Eden, and I guess like Eden, with Adam and Eve, it's something about getting back to Eden and being the rulers of Earth. And they needed Tick for that, but that got shut down.
Because they killed Tick, didn't they?
No, they didn't kill him.
Oh.
Because Tick's ancestors came and saved him. Because, that's what I do love about this show, because our ancestors be coming through. Last night, it was the episode about Letitia bought a house that was haunted.
I saw that.
And
house.
the story is, which was happening in real life, there was like a doctor that was experimenting on, I can't recall if they were slaves or if they were just like free black people. And
that's very much so true. Have y'all heard the stories about what they did? It's the girl in Mississippi. They gave her first Kim Kardashian body.
Huh?
Well, it might not be. I exaggerated that.
What?
But it's a painting, and it's either Mississippi or Alabama. It's in a city hall, and it's a black woman on the table. She's sitting on her knees, and it's a bunch of white men around her, and they're looking at her because I forgot I'll Google it, but what the white man did on her body. I mean, clearly she didn't want it, but they were looking at his work.
There's a story in Louisiana. I went, because me and my cousin went there like a few years ago when, they do like those little tours or whatever. Mm-hmm. There's a house in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. There's a house in Louisiana. The slave owner, she was killing like slaves or something like that in the house, experimenting with them or something. And apparently this house is still like haunted with those spirits. And my cousin was telling me that Nicolas Cage had actually moved into the house, but then like something happened one night. He like ran out the house and was basically losing his mind or whatever. And so he ended up leaving the house. But it's like, why would you even want to move into something like that anyway?
Because I do believe people's spirits be right around them.
I don't do them haunted houses. Well, not the recreational haunted houses, but like those tours that they be, them ghost tours and stuff like that. I don't be doing all that. I don't want no
because you be taking that spirit right with you.
Yeah. And when I moved into my house, blessed my house, I had my dad come to Houston so he could bless my house too. Hell, look at Lake Lanier.
Lake Lanier is I watched this video. I told you about it. That girl jumped into Lake Lanier with a life jacket on. When the second she hit the water, that life jacket came off. Y'all got me fucked up.
Well, Trump, his people supposed to be having something down there.
Yeah, they all finna die.
It's like Lake Lanier, do your job. But nah, Lovecraft Country, last night's episode was a little scary. But then they had like the reference to Emmett Till too.
Then they telling me we weren't gonna have a good time.
Yeah, it was. They were playing on the Ouija board, and he was like, "I'm going out of town. Am I gonna have a good time on this trip?" And it was like, "No." So
let's always remember that bitch still alive, and they never prosecuted that lady.
Right. And I thoroughly appreciated Letitia going and busting them white dudes' cars down, who burned the cross on her front yard. But I enjoy the show. I would definitely recommend it.
So congratulations are in order.
So
Niecey Nash.
What happened with Niecey Nash?
Apparently she's married again. Let me pull it up. Because
she just got a divorce.
Love is fucking love. Wait for it. How you spell Niecey Nash's name? Why won't pop up?
Niecey.
They done deleted my sister. Oh no, here we go. Congratulations to Niecey Nash. She is now Mrs. Carol Denise Betts. She married her wife, Jessica Betts, who is a rock and roll, I guess, artist.
Oh. Okay.
I'm with Niecey. I'm really appalled that she said that we need to suck dick every day to keep our men.
And she just wrote this last last year, and she was telling us how to have a successful marriage.
So Niecey needs, honestly, Niecey, I need to have a conversation with Niecey more so for telling me to suck dick every day, because if you suck dick, it's a lot. So Niecey really gave out that poor advice about sucking dick, only to get a divorce and marry a woman. That is my problem. Not that, I don't even care that she got a divorce. It's like, maybe he didn't like your dick sucking. You married a woman when you were telling me to suck dick every day. Niecey. But I'm happy for you, honey.
Congratulations.
Apparently, honey, girl, hey, people start pulling up on social media stuff and was like, so it's been in our face. So I'm not, Niecey.
Not loving your face.
Niecey, you supposed to suck dick every day. That's my biggest concern. Have you, Niecey, suck dick every day of the week?
Well, she looks beautiful.
She looks gorge.
Yeah.
But every day, dick sucking?
Just for you to end up with a woman.
Every day? But shout out. And on a less dick sucking note,
oh my God, we can't go into that like that.
Just
on a very somber note.
So I didn't watch the tribute. I did not watch Black Panther yet. I will not be watching anything anytime soon because A, I'm a crier, and B, this year has already been a lot. Mm-hmm. So I will be in shambles about Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, I'm not even a crier, and I've been crying all weekend over Chadwick. We can talk about Chadwick right now, but we can't even go too deep into talking about him because I don't want to cry. Because I
have nothing else to say, actually.
Yeah,
I appreciate his family and his team of doctors for allowing him to go through this without the media. And I think he deserved that if he wanted it. If he wanted to work in peace, because I think a part of it, he didn't want the sympathy, and I'm happy that he was able to do it without full speculation.
Yeah.
I also want to take this moment to, every time someone passes away in any type of way, especially when there's been jokes involved, because people were cracking jokes about Chadwick's weight loss.
Which I really don't understand. People
talk trash about Bobby Christina. People did the same thing about Whitney. I get the joke. I think everything's funny. I really do. It's like 99% of the stuff is funny to me. I like racist jokes. I like racist jokes across the board. To black people, to white people, to Spanish people, to Asian people. I have a dark sense of humor. I have a raunchy sense of humor. I have a white people. I think everything's funny. It's something about addiction and weight loss. First of all, when he lost all that weight, I genuinely just thought he was doing a movie role. But I'm just happy I never thought the jokes were funny because to know that he was battling that, not gonna cry, to know he was battling that and still trying to be on social media, and then they say he was like deleting comments at one point, makes me really sad because people try to give you their art and people just try to live, and y'all are like terrible on social media. Like I cannot express, like, not that, and I'm not gonna like act like I don't say bad stuff, but I say bad stuff in the comfort of my friends, and I know that doesn't make it better, but it's in the universe to me and my friends, and not necessarily so the people who I'm talking about can read it, even if it's bad, even if I think it's kind of bad. It's what my conversations to my friends is way different to what I would do online. And so I'm happy that y'all found majority of the people who was talking shit and started adding them, and those people been tearing their pages down and stuff.
I just didn't find the purpose in the jokes because I remember last year seeing him and initially thinking like, oh, okay, well he lost weight for a role, but then even why would you laugh at him for that when this is his job, he's working, so why is that funny that he lost weight? But then when I saw him like a month or so ago, I think, in the picture that I saw, I think he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And
see, I didn't even see that picture until after.
Yeah, I saw that picture and I was like, he looks very sickly. And I was just like, man, like I thought to myself, I was like, man, I hope he's okay. Like, I hope he's doing all right. And then I didn't even think to like look at the comments, and so I didn't know that they were talking about him so badly either. And, I don't know. I think I too have like a very obscene sense of humor. But there's some things where it's just like, this isn't funny.
Yeah.
And you could tell that something was going on with him. So it's like, why would, and then to go through that man's page. Like, it's one thing for you to like leave comments
y'all add people. Y'all have weird ways of going to people's personal pages and adding people. Like, exactly. You go to the shade room, you comment to your friends, that's your business. Yeah. But to be on the people's page saying the shit y'all say, I could never be fucking famous. The way I would probably sit on my comments cussing y'all out is ridiculous.
Or I would just be like Beyonce, where I'm just never interacting with you.
I would actually just block y'all.
And then you're gonna be like, she don't care about her fans. I don't care.
I have no choice but not to.
Yeah, like I can't let you disturb my peace like that.
Yeah.
And for him to have been going through that and still, like you said, trying to put out his art, and the video that people were saying nasty things under, he had just donated like $4.2 million or something like that for PPE for people to deal with COVID. And it's like, even if you saw him and you thought like, oh, he's skinny, ha ha ha, you still couldn't have compassion when you at least heard what the video was about and what he was doing. It's like,
people are y'all are the worst.
Yeah, I hope for Chadwick that he did feel appreciated and loved before he passed away, and just beyond Black Panther, because I know that he got so much love for Black Panther, and I know that he was an inspiration for a lot of people, but even just hearing people's stories about him who have interacted with him, and all of them just saying like how humble he was and down to earth and just this sweet guy, like I hope that he passed away knowing that, and it was beyond just you playing this fictional character. It was like, really, you're a really good dude.
And also, y'all are really weird telling your kids that Black Panther died. If they really didn't follow Chadwick personally, it's weird to tell your kids Black Panther died when I don't watch much Marvel movies, but what I get from Marvel and those comic book movies,
they be dying.
They not that they died, they keep remaking them with different people. So there's like 100 Jokers. It wasn't not Robin Williams. What's the one?
Michael Keaton?
Not Michael Keaton, the one who sits on the Lakers game. His one was the scariest one to me, I think.
Oh, Jack Nicholson. No, not Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson had a good one.
I didn't watch him, but he seemed scary to me anyway.
No, Jack Nicholson, his Joker is my favorite Joker.
Jack Nicholson, which one you just named?
Michael Keaton was Batman.
Prince was, no. Jack Nicholson was Joker. The one who died over the overdose, what's his name?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger was
he played a very dark
Joker. They just had a Joker come out.
Joaquin Phoenix, I think is his name.
So and the X-Men and the Superman. Telling y'all kids personally Black Panther died to me is just bad parenting. And telling them that Black Panther died and cutting on the camera and recording them with their reaction is double bad parenting to me. If your kids didn't follow Chadwick personally, cause that was a conversation you could have had later.
Even with my sister, and she's like, how am I going to tell him? Because, my thing is, death is natural. So just tell him that Chadwick passed away.
Yeah, just say Chadwick, though. Don't say Black Panther.
She was like, he really loves Chadwick Boseman. He's such a fan of it. I'm like, well, what other movies has he seen of Chadwick? And she was like, just Black Panther.
He's a Black Panther fan.
I was like, so he's not a Chadwick Boseman fan.
Anyway.
He's a Black Panther fan. So, but rest in peace to Chadwick, and my condolences to his wife, to his family, to his friends, and we were blessed to experience his talent, and he will forever live on. In 21 Blocks, that comes out on that's playing on Showtime this Saturday. They're premiering that,
and he has a new movie too coming out called Ma Rainey with Viola Davis, which is produced by Denzel Washington, who is actually the anonymous donor for his degree in Oxford in acting.
And then the speech that he gave to Denzel.
Well, y'all, we gotta go because Verzuz is coming on.
The boy is mine.
So, maybe we'll try to take next week because I really do want to talk about 90 Day Fiancé. But we ain't got the time right now. So we're about to watch Verzuz. We'll talk about Verzuz next time. You guys be safe, be happy, wear your mask. Love y'all.